Have you ever wondered why people spend so much money on art? Here are 10 paintings that not only sold for an astonishing amount of money but also, many of them are pieces of art that you are going to swear you'd be able to have created at home. If you are going to spend $39.7 million in 1987 on a painting, you better make sure you're getting an original. After Vase with 15 Sunflowers was purchased, there was controversy surrounding its authenticity, as some believed it an Emil Schuffenecker forgery. The painting was done by Van Gogh, so, it needs to be costly. That doesn't change the fact that the painting is pretty ugly though. It is the second in a series, the first of which featured the sunflowers lying on the ground. The paintings were done to try and impress Paul Gauguin, a friend and influential member of society. The painting may have been for Paul, but it currently resides at Seiji Togo Yasuda Memorial Museum of Modern Art in Tokyo. Newman was an abstract artist from New York, whose painting sold for $43.8 million in 2013. Why? I don't know. It's a blue canvas with a white line down the center of it. I guess that makes it worth more than $40 million somehow. Maybe the buyer just really fell in love with the blue too? This is an abstract expressionist painting done by Mark Rothko in 1964. It may not look like much because it's 3 colors on a canvas, but it was enough to attract a bid of an astounding $75.1 million at an auction in November 2012. I understand that this is just a particular style of art, so while the faces may just look like blurry messes, that is the appeal to some people. The painting was completed by Pierre-Auguste Renoir in 1876, which definitely helped ramp up the price. It was purchased in 1990 by a rich Japanese businessman Ryoi Saito, who purchased it for just over $78 million. When Jasper's painting was purchased in 2006, it sold for an astounding $80 million. At the time, this made it the most expensive painting ever sold by a living artist. Perhaps he could take part of that money, go back home and create another painting that looks like some overly aggressive finger painting. I'm not going to lie, if you told me that Leonardo da Vinci had a painting that was sold, I'd know it was costly. That doesn't mean the painting is going to be any good though. Salvator Mundi was thought to be lost, but it was rediscovered and restored in 2011. The image shows Christ, but honestly, he looks like he may have been spending some time with the burning bush. I can only imagine that maybe the face was one of the more damaged parts of the painting that needed to be restored. Despite this, it still managed to sell in 2013 for $127.5 million. This painting is awful. I get that it's an abstract expressionist painting, but it is so hideous to look at. You honestly couldn't convince me to take it if I was walking down the street and saw that laying on the grass. Clearly that means I have no taste because it sold for a ridiculous $137.5 million in 2006. This made it the 4th most expensive painting ever sold. When people think about paintings that their children could possibly do, Jackson Pollock's name comes to mind. The painting was created on fiberboard and features gray, brown, white and yellow paint drizzled in such a fashion that it caused many people to compare the piece's look to that of a dense bird's nest. The painting was originally sold for $1,500 but was horribly damaged during transportation, forcing Pollock to create a second one for the artist. Pollock believed that nobody knew how to look at his paintings, so the buyer probably won't notice the difference. The buyer did realize the difference, but was ecstatic, calling it a wonderful example of an artist having a second chance. The painting is supposed to reinforce a metaphysical concept of the painting that is evident through its reconstruction. Yeah, whatever that means. One thing that will never make sense to me is how it allegedly sold in 2005 for $140 million. When you try to consider who on earth would spend $250 million on this painting, your mind probably doesn't jump to a country. But, in 2012, Qatar decided to purchase the piece for an astonishing $250 million. The idea was that it would build the country's art reputation. Number 1 and the most expensive painting ever. What the hell is this? It literally just looks like a few different shapes and sizes that are blotted onto a canvas. Is that a yellow piece of cheese in the corner? It kind of looks like Lisa Simpson without eyes. There have been a lot of times when I have thought that I really don't understand art, but none more than this moment when I tell you that this painting sold in 2015 for $300 million. The painting is apparently a seminal masterpiece of abstract expressionism, and is definitely worth being valued at $300 million. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. See you next time for more.